started talks between America and Iran and the other Western nations about defanging Iran so that she no longer goes for nuclear weapons. And the talks, I had 2 days of talks in Geneva in the middle of the month, and they seemed to, on the surface, appear to have gone well. To continue next month. The new president, Rouhani, has spoken to the great Satan, Obama. First time for 34 years that there has been any talking between the two leaders. And because Obama is less interested in the Middle East, because America has its own supplies of energy now, vast reserves of shale oil and gas, she's not so interested in the Middle East as she used to be. And what she wants to do is to wash her hands of these conflicts there in order that she can concentrate on what she perceives as the greater threats, the expansion of China. And so Obama seems to be going overboard to come to some compromise with Iran about pulling Iran back from the brink. And it would appear that this may indeed happen, that wiser counsels might prevail. And this is alarming Israel and the Gulf states, because what they are afraid of, that America will come up with some agreement with Iran which still leaves them able to, when they want to, develop a nuclear weapon, but not for the time being. And that really, for Israel and the other nations, would not be a good solution. But you see, the problem is Iran is running too far ahead of itself, and the angels are having to push her back. The time hasn't come. The time will come when Gog eventually comes down against Israel, that Iran will be on the side of Russia and will come against Israel. But that lies in the future. It's too early yet. They've got to be pushed back in order that there can be this period of peace and security for Israel in the Middle East to become prosperous. And at the moment, the sanctions which the West have put on Iran are very effective. They're really biting. The Iranians are on their knees, and they can't last much longer. And so there is tremendous pressure for them to come to some compromise in order that some of these sanctions are lifted. And so, as I say, I think we're going to experience a time when Iran is forced by the circumstances to pull back and to agree with America, and sanctions then will be lifted, and a period of stability there. So in the Middle East, what we're seeing really is a contest between Russia and America. Russia backs Syria, backs Iran, and America backs Jordan and backs Israel. And at the moment, as I say, Obama's credibility, has a fantastic article in the Telegraph yesterday, and well, another one today. The Saudis are absolutely angry with Obama because they feel that he's let them down. They are so afraid of Iran that they want Iran squashing, and America's not going to do that. So who is the only strong power left that can help them? Well, that is Israel. And we're seeing this fascinating change that Putin's power seems to be growing in the region, and America's power seems to be shrinking. I say this is opening the way for Britain to come in and be a strong power in the region, working with Israel, working with the Gulf states. This is a wonderful change. So just to summarise where we've got to before we just go to the last part, the Muslim Brotherhood was the power behind the Morsi and his party. This year it has been routed from Tunisia, with after all the overthrow, a Muslim Brotherhood type party was in power But again, that has been thrown out about the middle of this year, shortly before the Egyptians. So it's disappeared from Tunisia. The Muslim Brotherhood has disappeared now from Egypt and from Sinai, and Hamas is greatly restrained at the moment. And the Muslim Brotherhood leader used to be in Damascus, then moved to Qatar, and again there has been a change. The king of Qatar very suddenly stepped down and handed over to his son, and his son is a completely different outlook, and the chairman of the Muslim Brotherhood has got to find a new country. And the last remaining area really for the Muslim Brotherhood, apart from Iran, is Turkey. And things aren't going well in Turkey at all. The Prime Minister, his party, Erdogan, his party is allied to the Muslim Brotherhood, and his own people are rising up against him. They don't like the things that he is standing for. Turkey has fallen out big time with America, fallen out big time with NATO, and fallen out big time with Israel. Just recently it's just been revealed that Turkey betrayed some Israeli spies to Iran who all been put to death. So he is very isolated and losing power. He thought he came where he would be able to unite the Middle East under his power, but just in the past few months everything seems to be changing around of the Muslim Brotherhood. And as the Jerusalem Post put it, the sun is now setting on the Muslim Brotherhood's hopes of regional domination. And in this change has been this rise in the cooperation with Israel. We know it's happened secretly in the past, but it's becoming more open and more spoken about. Egypt is working with Israel. Saudi Arabia is, just last week, this Al Jamayana is an American Jewish paper, and the editor every year publishes a list of the top 10 non-Jewish positively influencing the Jewish future, and his list, which he just published, puts El-Sisi, the Egyptian deputy minister, as number one most influential person influencing affairs in Israel. Pope Francis was put number 2. Quite an interesting list. But you know, what a change, what a change. And I say Jordan is pleading with Israel, however the peace talks go with the Palestinians, please remain as a military buffer force in the Jordan Valley. We do not want you to withdraw. We do not want to have the West Bankers our neighbours. We want you in between. And as I say, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states see, because America is withdrawing her interest, that they see Israel as being their salvation, and they're prepared to work with her. Absolutely amazing change. And so it bodes well that for this time that we've been looking for, which Ezekiel has talked about so many centuries ago, that there will be this time of dwelling peacefully, and Israel very rich and very prosperous, that the nations can turn round and come and take her wealth and her spoil. So in our last section we shall see that as America seems to be less and less involved in the Middle East, Britain is eager to go and take her place in that vacuum.